maritime military muscle.
If we're in a war, we're going to win the war. We're going to win it like nobody ever before.
The President on board USS George Washington in Japan, rallying the troops and the new Prime Minister.
This woman is a winner.
Donald Trump continuing his tour of Asia, cozying up to countries hit hard by his tariffs, including Malaysia's Prime Minister.
In spite of the general perception, he was a good listener.
Anwar Ibrahim telling the ABC the tariffs on his country are still too high, but the deal is workable.
You have to negotiate, and they're tough negotiators.
Lighting a spark with Australia's Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Albanese has been a committed friend.
The economic relationship is in good shape. Our defence and security relationship is also in good shape.
Australia and Southeast Asian countries have acknowledged growing concerns about escalating tensions in the region. Not naming countries, but clearly a swipe at Beijing and its military expansion and aggressive tactics, including firing flares at an Australian surveillance plane in the South China Sea.
I think it is important for all of us to express, whether publicly or privately or whatever form, our concern that this region must remain free.
From ASEAN to APEC, South Korea's rolling out the red carpet for world leaders. The Prime Minister has touched down here in South Korea, the final stop of his week-long trip. And while Anthony Albanese has a full schedule ahead, the focus of this summit now is on that pivotal meeting between the US and Chinese presidents. The world anxiously waiting on to see if the trade war between the two largest economies can be resolved.
I think we're going to have a deal. I think it'll be a good deal for both.
1 in 4 of Australian jobs depends upon trade, and 75% of Australia's trade is with APEC nations.
Mr Albanese first paying his respects at the United Nations Memorial Cemetery, where hundreds of Australians who died during the Korean War are buried, learning lessons from the past to prevent conflict in the future. Stephanie Boris, ABC News, Busan.
There is hope that at least the two great powers can lower the temperature. We've had this escalatory tit for tat ever since Donald Trump announced aggressive tariffs earlier this year. And while several nations rush to try and strike new deals, China has played hardball, announcing its own tariffs. It stopped buying soybeans from the US and, crucially, announced restrictions on rare earths, an industry that is vital in the manufacturing of high-tech equipment. Now, China is the dominant player in that space. It has a very strong hand. So that is something to watch tomorrow. Whether or not China will loosen those restrictions, there is already talk of a 1-year pause. Donald Trump has announced his willingness to lower the tariffs against China. One sensitive area is whether or not the US will loosen restrictions on high-tech chips to China. Now, Donald Trump is on a roll. He's had a string of high-level meetings, but there is one leader he's unable to meet for now, and that's the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Donald Trump expressed his keenness to arrange something while he was here in South Korea, but has now accepted that's just not going to happen, telling media his focus for now is on China.